Hey there, and welcome to episode 9 of Sit Back with Sushmit. Okay, so first of all, if you follow me on my Instagram is Smushmint, and I'll link it in the description, you'd know how eager I've been to record this episode. The last I recorded was December 6th of 2020. I had to stop because we had these things called board exams. Board exams, for those of you who don't know, are basically final exams given by your school board. They take around a month to finish because they're so awkwardly placed. You would be completely free one week, but then you'd have absolutely no spare time the next week because they're so awkwardly placed. And then even before that month, it takes you around 2 years to prepare for them because ninth grade and 10th grade are usually spent studying for them. Just have to say, those 2 years have brought forth so much change. Speaking of change, you guys might see some change in the podcast. First of all, my cover is different. It used to be me sitting back in a suit. I've now changed it to something I believe is a bit more stylistic, but I'd like to bring back the suited me once in a while. I'm recording from a completely different mic. I used to record from this lavalier mic, but now I'm recording from the Mayono AU-A03 condenser mic to get my audio, and hopefully it sounds better. For audiophiles out there, you might be able to tell a difference. I used to use the Anchor built-in recording software to record my audio, but now I'm using GarageBand. GarageBand is free, but I also have it also has a lot of features which I can utilize. Biggest change is probably the video podcast. I'm now recording myself with the camera along with the audio, so I'll be uploading both video and audio from now on. And I'm pretty excited about that. So, anyway, let's get back to the story. So, ninth grade and 10th grade, those 2 years were like a journey. There's so much change. I just like to speak about how much I've changed and how I learned from them. So let's start with ninth grade. Ninth grade started in around June of 2019. I was 14 at the time, and damn, I was an attention seeker. Heads up, I asked four friends about this: Shashank, Sudiksha, Arushi, and Snigdha. I asked the four of you guys to give me some advice and give me information about how I used to be versus how I am now. Thank you guys so much for that information. You guys mean a lot to me. So, I was an attention seeker in ninth grade. Attention seeking is a human trait, I'd have to say. Everyone is okay when they feel like they're getting noticed, unless you're an introvert, of course. I always wanted to be the center of attention. I always wanted to be center stage. I also would betray my friends a lot. I was really mean. I would often block my friends, then come back to them like 5 months later and go, "Hey, bro, I'm so sorry. Can we just be friends again?" So I would do that a lot. I'm ashamed of that. I'm so sorry to whoever I did that. It's still I still cringe to it. Uh, I was mean and I did that a lot. I would betray my friends basically. I did the fake depression thing as well. You know how many teenagers will fake their depression to garner sympathy? I did that a lot. I also didn't give myself much credit for things. In ninth grade, I was really into art. I would tell everyone I was going to be a Marvel comic artist. But whenever someone would say "Hey, dude, your drawing doesn't look that bad," I'd go, "No, bro, it's cringe. What are you talking about, bro? It's cringe, bro." So I would just keep on saying stuff like that. So all of these factors eventually led to me having a very low self-confidence, low self-esteem. I couldn't believe in myself as much because in my own standards I wasn't achieving any of the things I was trying to put pressure myself into. Whenever I had a problem, I wouldn't really address it. I would just panic about it. I wouldn't really try to figure out a solution. I would avoid my problems basically, and I would go into a shell whenever I was upset or whenever I was facing these problems. I wouldn't talk to my friends who were there to talk to me about it. That was a pretty bad thing of me. I should have reached out to my friends a lot more. Thank you guys so much for whoever one of you guys were my friends, whoever were volunteering to be there for me. Thank you guys so much. I was also very self conscious. I still am. I'm insecure about my weight. I'll be completely open about that. And I will constantly pull down my shirt in order to hide my man boobs and my belly. I do that a lot, but I did that even more, like a thousandfold in ninth grade. I also made sure no one could see my weight, and I would hide myself in hoodies and jackets and other types of clothing which are baggy. So I was really self conscious. I was an attention seeker. I was mean, and I didn't believe in myself. Then comes 10th grade. 10th grade for me started in around 2020 May. This is when the pandemic hit. This year was completely online school. So in the beginning of quarantine, would say I was overwhelmed. There was a lot of stuff that came forward. Like, first of all, there was the entire goddamn pandemic. So many people were like they suffered due to COVID, suffered from COVID. I understand. Like I'm really sorry for whoever is suffering from COVID or who knows someone who is suffering from COVID. My grandpa had COVID, so I know what you're going through. I'm just really sorry. So in the beginning of quarantine, I was overwhelmed because by nature, I don't really have a best friend. I don't really do best friendships. I do friends, but not best friendships. So basically, what I'm saying is, I didn't have that many friends to go to. I did have friends, but everyone was busy, everyone was overwhelmed. Eventually, I learned to accept this. Uh, a good piece of advice I've learned is, do you know Enola Holmes, the movie with Millie Bobby Brown and Louis Partridge? In that, Millie Bobby Brown, like the character, Enola Holmes, her mother says, just because you are alone does not mean you are lonely. That's either Enola or her mom who says that. I'm not completely sure. But that advice has been something I've taken to heart. It's such a like glorious piece of advice, especially in quarantine. I don't care as much for attention now because there is like less venues in order to achieve that. Of course, like I do still crave some attention, but now I do what I call is now I do what I call a productive attention seeking. If you crave, like, if you want some form of attention from the hobbies you're doing, say you want some fame from your art or from your music or from, say, your podcast, that form of attention is attention seeking, but I would say productive attention seeking because you're doing something actively in the process which helps you learn, which helps to keep you busy. So I do productive attention seeking. I'm a lot more self confident. I believe in myself a lot more. For example, I now have the confidence for the podcast. I now have the confidence to speak in front of the camera. I now teach kids art. I upload my art whenever I can, but I generally have moved on. So I'm a lot more self confident and I believe in myself. I'm a lot more accepting and tolerant because it's not like I was racist and homophobic, but I can accept when someone likes something I don't like, or they don't like something I like, or we mutually hate something, we mutually like something. In general, I just accept that a lot more. Except if you become annoying with the things you like. BTS fans. Uh, I empathize with people a lot more. Like, since quarantine has sort of pushed us all into a somewhat similar situation, we're all stuck at home. I can empathize with people whenever they're feeling down, whenever they're feeling lonely, because more often than not, I'm going through the same thing. So, I've learned a lot from these 2 years. In ninth grade, the main things I learned was you shouldn't care too much about your social status, how popular you are, how rich you are. That does not matter. What you should be caring about is studying. Since most of your syllabus is given within that year, you should just sit down and finish it off. Make sure you know all of that. That's my deepest regret. I didn't study in ninth grade, so I don't have that knowledge. I had to revise a lot more in 10th grade. People will be annoying. Since you are like 14 years old, I think 14-year-olds in general are annoying. I was annoying as a 14-year-old. Uh, People will be annoying. People will criticize you a lot for no reason, but the only criticism you should take from that is constructive criticism. Ninth grade is also going to be a massive cesspool of hatred because everyone's going to start beef with you for no reason. And ninth grade is like prone to that. There's going to be a lot of judgment. People will judge you. You shouldn't care about if someone's judging you based on your skin color, your height, your weight, your diction, whatever, your ethnicity, your socioeconomic status. The only judgment I think you should care about is academic judgment. More often than not, that judgment will be coming from people trained or people who know about it. As in your parents, your teachers, your principal, your board, so on. That's the only kind of judgment that you should care about. Because more often than not, that will be good advice for you. So, just uh, the more important thing is there's also going to be a lot more emotion. Because you're 14, puberty is hitting you a lot more. So you'll have new emotions, new hormones that you've never felt before. And that's completely fine. You're aging. In 10th grade, what I've learned is you should learn to balance your social life and academic life. That doesn't mean like completely abandon one for the other. Don't lose yourself in friendships. Don't lose yourself in studying. You should you should maintain friendships. If you want to make it even more productive, you can do things such as study sessions. I did that with people all around the world did that, and that helps a lot. Except if you get distracted easily, just saying. You should like not stress too much on everything. Stress is like a big factor of nowadays life. Uh, just try to get rid of that stress in any form you can, whether it be a stress buster, a hobby, or you actively go and eliminate that thing that is giving you that stress. Let me give you an example. Board exams. Many 10th graders are very stressed that the board exams are going to be their demise. What I've noticed is that compared to our mock exams and what do you say, the tests that your teachers give you, the pre-boards and so on, those are a lot harder than the actual board exams. So don't stress too much. That doesn't mean you shouldn't study, but of course, don't fret way too much, is what I'm saying. You should also, in like the most important thing, I believe, is you should learn to give yourself a lot more credit. I used to do like, as I said, in ninth grade, I used to never really acknowledge my accomplishments. I would always say everything is cringe. I keep on doing that with this sometimes. Like whenever I would receive episode about my first whenever sorry, I messed up my words. Whenever I would receive criticism about my first episode, I'll admit it, is bad because I was just starting out. I received a lot of like criticism, but a lot of people would also go like, "Hey, dude, not bad. This is good for your first start." Instead, I would just completely shut everything out. I wouldn't even accept that criticism. I would just go, "Hey, dude, it's cringe. Shut up, bro. It's cringe, bro. What are you talking about, bro?" I would just not like actively listen to what people had to say. So learn to give yourself credit. Giving yourself that credit will give like help you in the long run because by that time you learn like how to like it helps you be confident of what I'm saying. Be proud of yourself and your accomplishments. And trust me, like I may have messed up my advice here and there, but these core advice like studying, maintaining friendships, ignoring hatred and judgment, accepting emotions, accepting yourself, learning to give yourself credit. That like all of these pieces of advice are things I still keep take true to my heart. These are advice pieces of advice that I believe help me a lot, and I'm sure that they'd help you a lot too. Okay, so now we are at the end of this episode. Uh, all I have to say is I've missed recording so much. I'm happy about like my past, I guess. I'm happy about the fun I had in ninth and 10th grade. I'm also excited for the future. Uh, I'm leaving my school, I'm joining a new school. So I'll have a 5 month summer break. I'm excited for all the endeavors I want to go into. New episodes, new YouTube videos, and in general new stuff. I'm making all of those. I'm excited to make new friends. I'm excited to start working out. I decided to like work out, help my dog exercise too. I'm just excited. I'm excited to learn more about the world, learn more about people, and most importantly, learn about myself. Let's just say, for everyone who's been listening for the past a few episodes, thank you guys so much for believing in me. Yeah. Sushmit out.